Welcome everybody to another edition of XN Interviews. I'm XN. With me, I've got my co-host as always, JX. How you doing, man?
Good, man. What's up, dude?
Good. Our guest this weekend is Domadeus. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's correct. Hello, that
Awesome.
is correct.
Awesome. How are you?
I am doing well. It's been a kind of a crazy weekend, but I just got back. I was just saying, celebrating my little brother's birthday, but now we're here, and I'm ready to do some talking.
Awesome. Let's talk about a game we enjoy. So how did you
Yes,
start?
absolutely.
How did you start playing Marvel Contest of Champions?
Oh man, so I started playing. Actually, I know the exact date, based on some interactions with the Kabam, like help chat, support chat, whatever. So I had to look up everything. But anyway, so I started playing June 9th of 2016. And it was honestly just kind of out of honestly, it was kind of out of boredom. I had just quit my day job a few months earlier. Christmas of 2015 was my last day at my day job, and the months afterwards, I just was kind of looking for a new game to kind of sink my teeth into. Um, I'm an avid like Pokemon fan. I played a lot of World of Warcraft, back in the day, and I was kind of looking for something new, something that I could play. As I was traveling all over the place for work, for my my now the career that I'm in now. I travel a lot, and I was looking for something that I could kind of play on the go. And this was before like the Nintendo Switch was even a thing, so that wasn't really an option for me to like bring a console with me, and I didn't feel right kind of bringing like a 3DS with me on flights and everything. So I wanted something that could just like be on my phone or something of the like. And I think I saw one of the ads on Facebook or something like that, and I think it was like I think it was right around the Civil War event when Captain America: Civil War came out, and so there was all the commercials with Iron Man and Captain America kind of staring each other down, and there was the collector popped out of somewhere, and it was like, oh, Marvel Contest of Champions, doing a Civil War event and everything, and I was like, okay, let me give this a shot. And so the rest of that day, I just kind of went in, did the whole tutorial and did the first couple quests, opened some crystals and everything, um, and just kind of got hooked. I played that entire summer, in 2016, and really fell in love with it. Obviously, found a whole bunch of small YouTubers. A small YouTuber by the name of I think his name is Seaton. I was just starting out, and so kind of was watching his videos and everything, and yeah, the rest is kind of history. So just hit 5 years playing the game this past June.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you have like an experience with like fighting games before Marvel?
Not really. I wasn't super into fighting games as it was. I had friends that were really into like Mortal Kombat, uh, what's the other, Marvel vs. Capcom, and I definitely played like Marvel vs. Capcom when I was like a younger kid with my older brother, but never got into a place where I was really super invested in them. And so this is kind of my first fighting game that I've ever really kind of enjoyed. I think mostly because of the IP and everything. I'm a big Marvel fan, and so when I kind of saw that, I was like, okay, I could give it a shot. And yeah, so not, before this, not really, no.
Okay. So did you have a background in Marvel comics or Marvel before contest?
Sort of. It is kind of funny. Most of my love of Marvel really came from the movies, which I feel like as a lot of people, especially nowadays. Um, and I think I actually have learned more about the comics playing this game, as opposed to before when I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I like the movies, but I don't really know a lot of the deeper dives of some of the characters or some of the storylines and everything. Um, I think the one time I was really kind of invested in a comic was the original run of Civil War back in the late 2000s when it first came out. I remember going to like a Barnes and Noble and stumbling upon a book, one of the maybe one of the main kind of comics of it, and I was so entranced with the story. But other than that, not really. It was just kind of like, Marvel characters. Oh yeah, I watched the movies. I want to play as Spider-Man.
Yeah. So so how did you go into creating content on YouTube and stuff like that?
That's an interesting question. So I didn't really know like that was a thing. Like even when I started watching people doing YouTube, like I said, Seaton, Mr. LT, Super Gaming Family, and then kind of saw the rise of Legacy, and obviously Brian Grant, some of these bigger names that everyone knows now. I was kind of intrigued, like how are they doing it? How are they able to put their phone screen on the computer and how to make that all happen? Ended up actually the first thing I ever did on YouTube was my first run through Labyrinth of Legends in like February of 2018, with a rank 4 Stark Spidey and a rank 4 Archangel, which I had newly awakened from completing Act 5. And, I did a live stream. I figured out how to mirror my screen to my laptop. I was living in a studio apartment at that point, and so I just kind of put my laptop on. I was sitting in a chair, and I put my laptop on another chair because for whatever reason I didn't have a table at that point, so my laptop was just on another chair in front of me, and had maybe like 4 people watching in total the entire run. I had to split up in 2 parts because I had something going on that afternoon. I didn't realize how long it actually would take, and yeah, just kind of I tried it and didn't really see a lot of not that there wasn't any success. I definitely felt good about doing it and had a lot of fun, but for whatever reason I was just like, maybe this isn't for me. But I don't know. Then maybe a year and a half later, I think it must have been spring of 2019, or so maybe about just a year later, I decided, you know what, I'm going to start trying to make some videos and put out some content and see what I can do with it. I had a couple of ideas. There was, I think at that point, Variant 3 had just come out, and I really enjoyed that one, the tech variant. And so actually, one of my more popular videos, I guess you could say, is me cheesing one of the lanes with a Civil Warrior before his buff. There was a Mr. Sinister on a lane, and I was able to use a rank 5-star Civil Warrior on the beta server and was able to cheese that boss, or maybe it wasn't a boss, mini boss or something. But I had a couple of ideas and just kind of rolled with it and tried to be consistent with it. But I've told this story actually on my streams as well. In the middle of 2019, we had the July 4th deals, and I was super excited. At that point, Captain Marvel movie and Nick Fury had just entered the contest and were in crystals and everything. And I remember thinking, okay, I really want to get a Nick Fury. So I wail out a little bit on July 4th, as you do, and got just completely shafted at that day. And I remember just feeling so terrible, to the point where I was like, you know what? I think I'm good. I think I'm good. So I stopped making videos for a while, took a bit of a hiatus, came back a couple times in the fall, and then in 2020, something similar kind of happened where I was kind of being consistent earlier on in the year, and then July 4th rolled around, and once again got completely shafted on the rewards, and so just totally was like, you know what, I'm done. No more YouTube. Like, this is too much. And so I took about a 6-month break for the rest of 2020. And obviously, last year was intense as it was with, global pandemic and everything, and having to relearn how to do my job, my in real life job. And so I was like, you know what, this is not for me. So I took a break, and I don't know what came over me, at the end of the year in 2020, it was around New Year's. I was like, you know what, I think I can, swallow my pride a little bit and roll with the punches a little bit more and start back up again. So and then, I've been doing it since, 2021 has been very, very, I would say successful. Like I've felt very good about the things that I've done. Obviously, I'm not a super consistent streamer, super consistent, content creator as it is, but I really enjoy the community. And I think that's what really pulled me back was just, being in everyone else's live streams, every time going to like Enzo's live streams or, KT1 or any of these people that are always so, so kind when people enter the chat, no matter who they are. I think a lot of that was the reason that I started to do any kind of content creation and then, subsequently was able to come back because I was like, you know what? I want to be one of those people that people feel like they can, come into the stream and hang out and just pass the time, even if, I'm on in the background. I just really enjoy talking to people, and I figure, if I'm playing the game, I might as well do it with friends, right? I might as well be able to talk to people and not just be cooped up in my room in silence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
That was a really long-winded answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're good.
no, you're all good. So you talked about a couple things there. Beta server. What are you part of the CCP?
I am not.
Okay.
I actually I didn't realize CCP was like a thing you could consistently apply to. I haven't applied to it before. I'm not sure if I will, just because, like I said, I'm not a super consistent content creator as it is. I'd rather keep that spot open for someone else that would be more consistent. But I think it was one of those random, they allowed people into a beta server for, gosh, what was it back then? I think actually it was the Colossus and Old Man Logan buff beta. Then.
Okay. So you also have done a lot of arena grinding, it seems like. How many champions have you gotten through the arena?
Oh gosh. So I think, and full disclosure, I actually didn't ever do a grind. Well, actually, that's a lie. Sorry. I did one grind before the new arena system. That was for Super Scroll. And that was just kind of a test of my roster to see if I could do a grind like that. So I got him as a 5-star in the old system, and then of this new system, I've gotten, I think, 3 featured 5-stars and 1 featured 6-star. I could have gotten 2 6-stars, but as some people may know, I missed out and on that stealth Spidey when that arena came around the second time.
Okay. So how much time do you spend in the arena, do you think?
Oh gosh. Make me do math. I don't even know. I mean, too much. I will say I have taken quite a considerable break from doing arena this past couple weeks. Kind of getting back into in-person teaching and doing, my in real life stuff. But I would say if I'm going at least for milestones and maybe like the 1 to 5% in the featured arena in a 3-day period, I will say I probably spend about 6 to 8 hours in the arena altogether.
Okay. And is there like a specific plan you have going into running arena?
Yeah. So I run all of my lowest 5-stars when I'm starting out, all the way up to, I think, winning streak 9. So even a couple of fights after I've hit the 3 times multiplier, and then I'll go into my 6-stars, run them from, highest PI to lowest and just kind of go through them. And usually if I'm just doing milestones or, going for the lower ranked rewards and the percentage, then I'll just use my 6-stars. But if I'm going for a champ, I will use all my 6-stars and all my rank 5 and rank 4 5-stars. And if I'm really going hard in the paint for a champ, then I'll use all my rank 3 5-stars as well. But usually it's just the 6-stars, and that's easily, an hour and a half to 2 hours that I use with all my 6-stars.
Okay. Jay, you got a couple questions over there?
Yeah, man. So we'll start off with one of my favorites. Is what would be a character you'd want to add to the game?
Oh man, this is always a tough question. I love hearing everyone's answers on these interviews. I think my top pick right now is Sandman.
Ooh.
And I know that people have always talked about Sandman coming to the game, and I know people have talked to the devs about Sandman, and I know the limitations that are, because I think you guys interviewed Gabe, right? You guys talked about Sandman and some of the other characters, right? That were potentially going to come into the contest. So yeah, I remember listening to that and being like, okay, well, at least they're like, at least they hear us and they know that he's one of the more popular picks. But I realized that a lot of would want to do a good job, as I think that's one thing that Kabam has done really well is just their art department and their bringing those characters to life in the game is always stellar. So I know they would want to do him justice, but I realize the technical limitations that poses with a character like Sandman. But he's still my number one, and as soon as he gets announced, I know I'm gonna have to like block out a weekend to grind for that guy, maybe twice.
Oh, dude, I can't wait, man. I really hope he joins the game, especially next year. It kind of looks like
Yes.
the state of the battle realm map. We have like 3 Spider-Verse villain spots. So I mean, dude, he could fit
Oh,
in
yeah,
pretty perfectly. I'm really
I
excited.
agree. I agree. I think maybe they might be pulling a fast one on us and saying, "Oh, we can't do it," but in secret they're like, "Oh no, we're totally doing it."
Yeah, I mean, he was saying it was built. Like he was saying he was done. So I mean,
Right.
I'm saying that's yeah. What's up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So who would you if there is there an MCU character that you would like to see come to the contest?
Yes. Let me think. I, you know what? I think I would really enjoy like Ironmonger
Ooh.
from the first Iron Man movie. And like what's his name? Gosh, I forget. But the guy who plays Ironmonger, he was one of my favorites. Obadiah Stane.
Yeah.
In that original movie. I think he'd be a really cool character. Could maybe, kind of I could see them doing something similar to how they kind of have the new version of Hulkbuster, or maybe some like unblockable specials, or maybe some chunky incinerate damage. Because he's kind of rudimentary and stuff. Maybe there's some elements from like Yellow Jacket with the whole meltdown thing. Yeah, I think that could be a pretty cool addition. Another XL Tech character that doesn't suck.
Dude, Iron Man's they need some love, man.
Right, right.
um
Absolutely.
I want to say this. If you go back all the way to the MODOK More Problems motion comic, the original Iron Man helmet, which Ironmonger is obviously based off of, is
Right.
actually in the collector's vault of unused art,
Oh,
unused stuff.
okay.
So, we got
Okay.
a little tease back in the day, but nothing ever happened
Absolutely.
really.
Well, hey,
You
I
know,
mean, you never know. We
for
could get
sure.
to December this year and be like, okay, the new trophy champ is Jessica Jones, and
Ah,
everyone's gonna freak out. Like, finally.
yeah, man.
Beta Ray Bill's hammer's right there.
I
Right?
know.
Seriously. It's right there. You just got to put it. It's right there.
It's not even
Yeah.
that's not even the first time it's happened either. Because
Sure.
yeah, like there's in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 one, man. I would love Beta Ray Bill, dude.
I know.
I mean, they got
That's
to
what
do
I'm
it.
saying.
There's no way they're not going to put him in. I feel like that's one that's obviously not confirmed, but I feel like it's like confirmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
On the DL, it's confirmed.
oh yeah.
So who's your favorite champion to play with right now?
Ooh, right now, uh, I don't know. There's so many good ones. Um, I, I mean, I'm gonna be lame and I'm gonna say Ghost, but I think past that, I really have been enjoying Apocalypse. And then obviously with Apocalypse, I can't not mention my kind of my bread and butter as of late, which is Archangel. Archangel has. I'm so glad that he's come back into the meta with some of the newer content. Grandmaster's Gauntlet. He was great for. I've been using him now with Summer of Pain finale. Using him against that Mysterio, trying to get a nice run in there so I can take that lane. And you obviously used him for my 7.2 Legends run. And he was, a monster for that. So I would say if I had to pick one and it wasn't Ghost, it'd definitely be like Archangel.
Okay. So what are some things about Ghost that people might look past?
Um, let's see. I'm like, I will preface and say I'm no Panda Man Pete, who I'm sure is a much better wealth of information as far as ghosting goes. But one thing that I have learned, I guess I will say, is that if you play Ghost a lot, or if you're just starting to figure out how she works and like the phase mechanic, you start to get a feel for just how long 2 seconds is when she does phase. Because there's often times when I was, learning how to play Ghost where, I would dash back and, wait for the opponent to dash back in so I could phase and intercept. Where then I would just block because I would think they would wait too long. But as I've, gotten better and better with her, being able to kind of time out and really kind of stretch out those 2 seconds to make it so where I can still stand there and not hold block and let the opponent dash in and get them with that intercept after the phase. So I would say just be conscious of the phase timer and work on being a little bit more bold with taunting the opponent. But as far as things that people might overlook, I would say, I know people like to say that the SP3, like the passive cruelties, they're not necessary. I think in longer fights they do help a lot, just because there are diminishing returns, but at the same time, you're getting more damage that's permanent for the rest of the fight. So I think, if you're planning to use Ghost in like a Labyrinth of Legends situation, I think having those passive cruelties can benefit you to get a fight done quicker.
Very nice. Jay, you got another one over there?
So Xander wants to know if you've read the Miles Morales buff.
I have read the Miles Morales buff. He looks pretty sweet. I try to combine sweet and solid, and I almost said swolid.
That's a good word.
Swolid, you know what I mean? Yeah, there you go. There's the new term, swolid tier. No, he looks great. I mean, obviously, everything on paper is always subject to change, and also you got to get your hands on the character to really see how they function. And I'm sure even after the buff gets released, there will be people like Xander, of all people, that will be able to find some niche uses for the new Miles. I mean, I'm just happy that the dude's getting a buff.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all are.
Yeah. So, who could you see getting a buff? I mean, that's an older champion.
Ooh, good question. Well, that's interesting now, right? Because now we're getting a Gamora buff, sort of.
Yeah.
Next month, where she already kind of got one, a couple years ago when they kind of redid her kit with the, Fury and Cruelty buffs proccing on basic attacks. So it's almost kind of like, the fact that we're getting Gamora kind of makes it a little bit more open, because I would think, for that, I would say, they'll probably buff someone like, one of the 2016 champs. I'm trying to think, like, I'm going to pull up Aunt May just so I can keep my thoughts together. But I think if I'll say which one I want. I really want a really, really crazy makeover for Juggernaut. I think Juggernaut has been like one of the OGs that people love to hate on for good reason. But I think if they did a really, really cool rework of him, I think not only he could be one of the best Mystics, but he could, come back into the fray as one of the most annoying defenders in the game. And even right now, he's still pretty annoying to fight against. I know there's that, Rising Sun. I think he might have Mighty Charge in Act 7, that Juggernaut there that gave people some issues. But I think Juggernaut is my pick. But as far as champs, I think they will buff soon. I would say maybe Loki is one I would be on the lookout for. Other than that, maybe a tune-up to like Squirrel Girl, maybe kind of pump up some of her bleeds, maybe. Thor Jane Foster with Thor Love and Thunder coming out pretty soon. Thor Ragnarok actually might get another one, might get a buff as well. I could also see them maybe buffing like Yondu. Someone like Yondu I would like to see get a buff. But yeah, those are kind of those are my picks right now. OG Hulk, I mean, you just need like a really bonkers Hulk. Not that I Hulk isn't crazy good and, has risen up from kind of a middling opinion of him when he first came out. But I would really enjoy like OG Hulk being the end all be all of the Hulks we have in game.
Oh yeah, dude, I agree 100%.
Right, right.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some older characters that need some love, like maybe Beast or Cyclops.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. I'm surprised they haven't done a Cyclops buff with all the when they did latest iteration of Lion's Quest and they had all those nodes and everything. We're like, oh, if you bring in Cyclops, he gets like a 200% attack boost. I was like, okay, so that's like them saying once this AQ season is over, then we're gonna buff Cyclops. So maybe we need to be on the lookout for that too.
That would be nice. I have a duped 6-star Cyclops.
Same here. Same here.
I always felt like because like Karina's challenge, you think it'd be unfair if they buff Cyclops for that?
Oh, that's a good thought. I mean,
That's always been my thought process, but we're getting to the point where it's getting older as the months go by. So
right, right. I mean, yeah, I mean, and the thing is, those rewards for the Cyclops challenge, the Kabam Mike's Revenge, they're not like, in my opinion, they're not super great. I would honestly maybe switch the rewards for that and the Loki challenge, because the Loki challenge gives you, 15,000 6-star shards, whereas the Cyclops one gives you 7,500 and a generic 1 to 2 gem, which I think, I guess balances it out. But I would rather get the 15,000 6-star shards for doing Kabam Mike's Revenge because I feel like that one's a lot harder.
Okay.
But in that, in that same sense, I think if they do buff the Cyclopses and keep it the same, I think it'll still be way too hard to do. I think that's the worst of all the Karina's challenges.
Did you do all of the Karina's challenges?
I have done 6 of the 9, so I have let's see, I have Super Punch Out, so Kamala Khan 6.2.6 champion quest, and then I have the Star-Lord Labyrinth and the Inhuman Labyrinth, so just 3 more to do.
Right on.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. So do you think the rewards are worth the content?
I think so. I think obviously now they're starting to be a little bit more antiquated, but I think they're still very very much worth the effort. Obviously now we're getting a lot more end game content. Obviously with Summer of Pain, I mentioned Grandmaster's Gauntlet, a little while ago. I think it's a good thing for people that have everything completed 100%. If they have Abyss completed, then like, okay, well here's something else I can farm up for. Here's something else I can dedicate my units for. Here's something I can look forward to. So in that sense, I think it's the rewards have definitely lost some of their allure as the months have gone by since they released it, but I think they're still worth it.
Right on. So do you have any content left to do in game? Have you completed all your variants in Abyss or Legends or Labyrinth?
I have Labyrinth 100%. I have 2 more paths in the Abyss. I was actually supposed to do another Abyss path this month, but with Summer of Pain out, I'm like, well, there kind of goes all my resources I was saving up for that, so I might have to push it back till next month. I have all my variants done. I have all the story content done. So really, kind of Abyss and those Karina challenges are the 2 big hills I have yet to climb.
Okay. So yeah, your story progression. I saw you did a 7.2 Legends run.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So and you got your rewards for it. So how much time did it take you?
I think all in all, the stream was about 11 hours long, but I think I did the content in 10, maybe 9.5, and some, or 9 and some change. I definitely took my time as far as like in between paths and everything, just kind of making sure I was taking the right counters. But we ended up getting spot 105, so Luckily, unfortunately, of course, the Merc situation is still rampant, and so they had to open up the rewards a little bit, 25 more spots. But I'm grateful for it. But at the same time, and I mentioned this in my results video that I made a couple weeks back, that I wasn't satisfied because had they not increased, the cutoff, I would not have made it, and I would have been really upset. So
Yeah.
I got to do another one whenever they, announce the new version of the Legends program, so I can actually say I made the top 100.
Yeah. So is that the only mythic title in game so far?
Uh, so this is my second Legends title I've earned. The first one I got from I think it was the Celebrity Challenge for when Ant-Man and the Wasp came out. So back in July of 2018, I think it was the Evangeline Lilly Celebrity Challenge, and I think that was the first. Oh no, maybe I don't know. It was one of the earliest times where they put in the size matters node. So I had a 6-star Red Hulk, or yeah, I think it was 6-star Red Hulk that I used, and I boosted up all crazy and went through it, got done with it in maybe like 2.5 hours, and so that was when I got my first Legends badge, and then this is my second now.
Right on. Jay, you got a couple over there?
Yeah, man. So how was summer of pain trading? You got any people you want to invest into now with the rewards coming out?
Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely am looking forward to taking up my brand spanking new Weapon X to rank 3.
Hey,
Just for fun. Just to kind of do a little bit of flexing, and he's just so cool. That was the main reason I did the Legends run for 7.2 as it is. But other than that, I think I'm going to bring up my Hulkbuster to rank 3. Actually, I have 2 Tech T5s that I'm sitting on that are kind of collecting dust, and I've already got Ghost and Warlock at rank 3. Um, Other than that, I probably hold off for a Guardian or maybe a Penny Parker, but I'm not holding my breath on those. Um, Other than that, there is one more character that I am planning to bring to rank 3, but I haven't made that video yet. I've been kind of slacking with my initial rewards opening for the milestones, the original milestone reward, so I have to make that. But I did take up a new rank 3 that'll be in that video, and it'll be pretty obvious who the next rank 3 will be from those awards as well. But I don't want to spoil it here.
yeah, hell yeah, man. I look
Okay.
forward to seeing that.
Thanks.
Very nice. Um, so with that, what else? What other kind of content is there for in-game players?
Gosh, like unless
Oh,
you're on a CCP beta, I'm not just testing out random characters, right?
did you do the Act 7.3 beta?
I was invited to it. I never did it. I don't know why. I
Aw.
should have. I never went in
Summer
there.
was in the way.
Yeah, Summer Pain. I mean, I'm not even really sure what else I was
What
doing,
was that?
but
The Grandmaster's Gauntlet. Did you do that?
yes, I loved Grandmaster's Gauntlet. So the funny story actually was that I started my stream doing Grandmaster's Gauntlet. So there's another streamer, AP Waves, another great small YouTuber, small content creator. Shout out to him. But he started his stream like maybe an hour before I started mine doing Grandmaster's Gauntlet. And so I started, and I actually got done with the Grandmaster's Gauntlet like an hour before he did after starting an hour later than he did. And so I was able to get my Grandmaster's Gauntlet completely done and then end my stream and jump over to him and like support him on his his Thanos fights and everything. So that was kind of funny. But no, I had a blast with Grandmaster's Gauntlet. I thought that was probably the best thing they released all summer or all year, I guess. I'm not really sure. I forget when it came out, but yeah, it was great.
Cool. So is there in a past event or something like the maze or something like that you would bring back?
Oh, I would love if they brought back the maze. That's actually the one piece of content, like non-permanent content that I never completed. Because I kind of saw like the rewards and everything, for the effort that was kind of needed for it, because it had, the 6.2 champion fight, it had the couple of Thanos fights, And at that point, my roster was way not ready for that. So I did one path and called it a day and just kind of let those rewards, fade away. But I would love if they brought back a new version of it. That's definitely one of them. I also really like to see more celebrity challenges. I saw someone post on Twitter the other day that like I think this, with Shang-Chi coming out next month, I think it'd be another cool opportunity for them to bring those back because I always really enjoyed those.
Yeah, man. Get a Simu Lu celebrity challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think he would love to do something like that.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's funny. I just saw him on a random
Yeah,
cooking show with the guy he knows. And he's hilarious. I think he'd be down.
I'm so excited for that movie, man. I can't wait. I
Dude,
can't
we're
wait.
like 2 weeks away, close to it, man.
Two
Oh my
weeks.
gosh.
2 weeks. Oh
Can't
yeah, I
wait.
had a friend actually who was a cosplayer that got to go to the premiere.
Oh,
That was this
what?
last Monday. Yeah, she was
Wow.
posting. She had her Scarlet Witch, or no, she wasn't Scarlet. She had her Winter Soldier outfit on. She does a Winter Soldier,
Okay.
and she got to take pictures with the cast and be on the red carpet. And it was like, okay, all right, cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not jealous at all.
Dude, that was oh man, I'd love to go to a red carpet. I went to like an
Absolutely.
early screening of Suicide Squad, but that does not compare to the red carpet premiere.
Sure. Are you talking about the old Suicide Squad or
The
this
new one.
new? Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
they had a little bit early,
Cool.
so I was excited I gotta go. But
It's awesome.
yeah, that movie was fun
It's
too.
awesome. Yes. Yes. Oh, I love that one. It's so great. So great.
Yeah, so what else is there to talk about, Jay? Sorry.
Maximus Savage got something to say, man. He says,
Yes.
let's ask Dom how he would fix war.
Oh man. I will preface this as well by saying I'm not the most avid Alliance War person. I did make a few videos last season, but obviously that season got cut short, so I wasn't able to really kind of flex any of my skills there. But if I had to change one thing about War, it would be like so it's kind of an idea that I've had that kind of stems from Pokemon Go, which I play pretty avidly as well. In that their PvP system, they have seasons or even special like separate like tiers of their PvP where you're only allowed to use certain characters in the entire like league is what they call it. So if we were able to implement that in War, where like every 3 wars there was a ban on like even like a certain hashtag, right? Like you could ban all metal characters, or you could ban all X-Men, or you could only use maybe there was like a class specific thing where okay, this war is only skill characters, and there's like a specific map and there's specific nodes, something like that. Or you could even say like okay, this map we're gonna put on like that node where it reverses the class advantage and disadvantages sort of thing. I think if they just got more creative with like what characters you were allowed to bring into War, I think it would kind of revolutionize what people felt about it, because then it would also make people say, okay, well this character isn't as good as A, B, and C, but they're really niche for this, so I feel okay ranking this character up for when this league or this version of War comes back. And like it could be a rotating thing where they announce at the beginning of the season, okay, this week it's going to be no X-Men, or and then this week of War it's going to be this. And so you would like, okay, I'm going to prep ahead of time and I'm going to rank up this character for this, or I'm going to rank up this defender because I know there's going to be some crazy buff where you know I don't know, champions that start with K get a buff, or something crazy like that. Where I just feel like there's so much room for creativity with War that I feel like they haven't tapped into. I won't say that I'm anywhere near knowing how that all works and how the technicalities work internally, but I think there's a lot of potential to make them more interesting than they are now by saying, okay, here's some defensive tactics and here's I don't know, new rewards. It's like rewards aren't all that people want. They want to be able to strategize. They want to be able to feel like they're actually playing against another person, which I know that's coming down the pipeline, but I think that's the one thing that Alliance War has lacked, since its inception, is variety of fights. I feel like the most variety we get in fights is stuff like Summer of Pain or the Grandmaster's Gauntlet, where you really have to like strategize who you're going to bring in against a certain character, and and the nodes that are attached to them, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I don't really. I was just telling Jay earlier. My alliance got 57 deaths.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing.
Holy moly! Holy moly!
Yeah, safe to say we lost that war. But yeah, it would definitely. It would be cool to spice things up a little bit. Everybody's using Korg and Hyperion and Nick Furies and Apocalypse and defenses. Why not?
Absolutely. Like if there was a node in war where like if you placed, if Kabam somehow, kind of codified the tier lists, kind of generally speaking, with all the content creators that have made them, or just, by saying who people like to use the most, if they could say, okay, well, we're going to make the meme tier characters, all of them are going to be like the best defenders. And so, yeah, place your Groots. And if you, put a Groot on the boss node, then like you're going to die for sure. Like, cause there's something crazy they're going to put on him, which you can still work around, but they're going to do something with his node where Groot is going to be the best defender. Like if they did stuff like that, not only would it be interesting to like fight against, but I feel like people would have more fun trying to find counters for those specific things.
Yeah, I agree. Like, when was the last time you saw the champion on the final node?
Never.
Yeah,
never. He's such a joke now.
And he literally has a description in his ability saying he gets better if he's the last defender in war or something like that, right?
Right, and they have a couple of characters that have that, where they're like, if they're a defender and they're on the boss node, they like get a buff. But I feel like, why can't all the characters have something like that? Like, why isn't that kind of built into most of the characters? Or like, if they're like a big bad in the comics or in the movies, like, why can't they have a specific thing that says, oh, if you fight against them in Alliance War or something, then they get A, B, or C?
Yeah, man, that'd be perfect for Thanos. Trophy champs as well, man, because like wow, man, it'd be beautiful.
Yeah, it makes people want to be more competitive and do more things. It like gets people more engaged with the game and not just kind of do it day to day. From my perspective, like that's what I would think they want. They want people to be more engaged with the game and not just, it is meant to be kind of a more casual fighting game experience. But with how big the game has gotten over the last few years, I think they need to take a different direction and say, okay, we have a really dedicated player base. How do we get them to be more engaged with the game and not just pick it up every couple of hours when they have to move an Alliance quest?
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Absolutely.
You got anything else over there, Jay?
Cyber brings up, would you like to see contest on a console?
That would be interesting. I don't know, because I think they would have to kind of it would need to be a separate game, I think. Like it wouldn't. I don't think there would be good reception if they made it cross console. Like you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they would definitely have to limit it.
Because then you have people that can do so many more things with a controller. The beauty of this game is that the controls are so simple and you can play the game with two thumbs. You don't have to worry about doing combos, all these crazy combos with all these crazy button mashes and everything. In its essence, it's very simple. It's very rudimentary. And I think if they brought it to console and tried to make it cross-platform, I think it would really kind of ruin the essence of it. Because that's the bread and butter is the fighting style that's in the game. But I think it would be cool if they brought it to console. I just think it would need to be a completely separate entity. Totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it would have to be like more like a Mortal Kombat style.
Mortal Kombat, even like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance sort of
Oh man.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I
You
love
know what
those
I
Yeah.
mean?
games. Yeah.
Something
Um,
like that.
yeah. I think MROC would work if they like all the best parts of MROC could work really well on console.
That that is a very good point. I could totally see Realm of Champions being a console game and being cross-platform. I think that would be a very smart move on their part if they made that happen.
Oh yeah. Do you actually play Rumble Champions at all?
I I played it enough to get the Marvel Insider points and then I deleted
Uh,
it. I'm not a huge fan of like MOBA style games. I know it's not a MOBA, but those kind of like run around and shoot people and then you kind of start from square one every single game. I'm not super big fan of. Like when I tried League of Legends years ago, that was my biggest gripe was that like I gained a level, but then every time I restarted a game, I was back at level 1. I was like, nope, not for me. I want my progression to stick.
Yeah. You got anything else over there, Jay?
um. Yeah. So Magnus says yeah he likes your ideas. He's got some cool stuff for new abilities and stuff from like to pull from a pool, base points on rarity. Officers and leaders be able to choose those. It'd be really
Oh
cool.
yeah, that's great. I love all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Just make Alliance War more customizable or like go against the grain a little more. I feel like the formula is just so tired now. Like even I remember Alliance Wars before seasons were a thing. And when they announced seasons, it like reinvigorated everyone to like want to be good at war again. Now, like seasons, we're what season going into season 28, like and there hasn't really been any huge shakeups besides, the defender tactics that never
Tactics. Yeah.
work. That never work.
Yeah. Well, they were
I don't.
supposed to implement those this month, right? And
Yeah,
didn't.
and they're still broken. They're still broken.
Yeah.
So it's like just scrap it. Like just put it next to bases and just try to go in a different direction. Rip bases too. Rip bases.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, so, have you ever been in a leader or officer in an alliance?
God no. No, I'm sorry. That sounds aggressive. No, I have never had the opportunity to be a leader or an officer in the alliance, but I don't think I'm cut out for it. I think I'm way too busy in real life to have to, delegate people to do things, and I feel like I spend too much time in the game as it is. So I think if I added that into my, scheduling of my day, I think girlfriend days would not be too happy with me. I'll just say that much.
Okay. So are you a boss killer in your alliance quest group or war group?
I it's interesting because I really wasn't super competitive in war until last season, a couple months ago. I also see Slayman in the chat. What's up, Slayman? Um, so it's funny that Slayman came in because I joined Slayman's old alliance. It was like me and Marcus Pack and Brendan McGuire all together in the same alliance, and we were pushing war. And that was like kind of my first taste of how things are in war now. And I think the only time I ever got a pretty sweet boss kill was a node 54. No, node, whatever stunning reflection is, maybe 52. There was a Terax on that node, and I took in my 565 clairvoyant, got a solo on it. Felt pretty good about that. But I'm pretty good with mini bosses. I mean, most of the time I just bring an Archangel and kind of blitz them down. Took a couple mini bosses this morning actually with Archangel. I think one with Magneto. But never a boss killer. I maybe have killed one thing boss in my tenure in Alliance War, but it was back when I don't even know who I used. But it was like, it's not really that hard. It was like a 565 thing, so nothing to write home about really.
Okay. So, what have been some of the most annoying fights that you faced?
In Alliance War or just in the contest in general?
Just in general.
Let's see. Emma Frost Summer of Pain was really annoying. I I tried getting her down with a multitude of skill characters, before I finally was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use someone else. I'm gonna use Ghost, and then on my third try with Ghost, I got a solo. I was like, cool. I just wasted 3 days of my life. That's awesome. Um, but I think other than that, pre-buff 6.2 champion, super difficult, especially on no retreat. Um, Grandmaster. I mean, now he's obviously come back into the forefront of everyone's mind with this final Summer of Pain quest. That's a fight that still gives me a lot of anxiety. I see Cyber says 6.2.5 Mordo. Yep, that's another one. That's a really tough one. Um,
That's
Another
my next
one.
boss fight.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think other than that, there was a. I think it was in Act 6, maybe 6.4.5, I believe. I think that's the Adaptoid quest. There was a domino on one of those lanes that was like something, I forget the nodes, but this domino was just like so annoying. I remember sinking, you know, 4 or 5 revives into that fight alone, and it was just a random fight on the lane. Uh, sort of like akin to like the Acid Wash Mysterio situation. Ozandiskar said, yeah, selective time stream domino. Yeah, craziness. That's definitely one that sticks out for me.
Okay. Um. So, what have been some of the easiest fights? I guess I don't know,
Easiest fights.
like
Well,
cheese
Act One.
fights.
Act One was like such a breeze, man.
Yeah, but
Oh gosh, no. I think some of the easier fights that, if I saw other people maybe have trouble with, um, Cap Infinity War pre. I want to say buff because how they have the Cap Infinity War at the end of 6.3
Oh yeah.
is a lot harder now than it was, I think. But that was a fight that I enjoyed. Had kinetic transference, it crit me with your best shot. So I used my ghost there, and that was a lot of fun. But I saw people have issues with that one. Um, I'm trying to think, what was another fun or easy one? Um, the Gwen Pyrian in 7.1 that people were kind of scared of initially. I think I was watching maybe Hobbit Crom, and someone mentioned, oh, she's tagged as metal because it was the old Gwenpool tags that tagged her as metal because of her swords. So everyone was like, oh, Magneto. And then I was like, great, done. Got those paths done real quick. Because I thought at that point, this was maybe a week after 7.1 dropped, that they were going to like fix those tags and so you wouldn't be able to use Magneto again. Obviously, now we know they didn't do that, but I remember going in there and just kind of blitzing her down real quick just to be sure.
very nice. You got anything else over there, Jay?
Yeah, man. So let's talk about the MCU. Have you caught up on What If?
I have. I was just able to watch T'Challa Star-Lord
Hey.
just a couple days ago. Amazing episode.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Such a great um, I don't want to say send off, but I guess send off kind of works. But just a great posthumous role for him. Such a great posthumous thing for him to kind of wrap up. Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. Rest in peace to him. Um, I loved so many things in the episode. I loved nice Thanos. Captain Genocide. Um, I loved hearing, I was actually very surprised with how many of the original voices they got.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was talking to my roommate, actually, we were watching it together, and we were both kind of commenting, and maybe, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, that like, for whatever reason, their voices sound a little bit higher than normal, which kind of makes, at least for my ear, think like, is it that actor or actress, or is it someone different that's doing the voice? And I think what we recognized or realized was that it sort of seems like they probably recorded all their lines normally, like with their normal cadence, normal syntax, and everything, and then had to speed up some of the dialogue so it would fit in that 30-minute block. And so that's why some of those some of the lines come off, and you're like, is that Jimon Honsu, or is that someone else that's doing an impression? I don't know if anyone else noticed that, because that was one of the things I felt very like, oh, this doesn't sit right in my brain. When I was watching the first episode, I was like, why does it feel like everyone's? It's like we're rushing. Everything's so fast. Why are we going so fast? But then I was like, oh, you have to fit in 30 minutes. They can't like make it longer, or else it'll just be way too long. Yeah, I've totally loved What If. Loved Loki. WandaVision was great. Falcon Winter Soldier was great. Um, I am very much looking forward to um, the Miss Marvel series. I'm a little bit like, okay, I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm not like super hyped up for it. I'm actually more excited for the She-Hulk series when it comes out. I think that one's gonna be really fun. Tim Roth or whatever his name is, as Abomination, who we all know is going to be in
Yeah,
Shang-Chi. So that's going to be cool to see how that all connects. Obviously, Mark Ruffalo coming back as Bruce Banner in that series. But yeah, I'm very excited for the She-Hulk series when it comes out.
same. I hope that has Donald, or not Donald, but Howard the Duck
Yeah. Oh man, absolutely, absolutely.
for sure. Um,
Oh,
so go ahead, Jay.
yeah, Hawkeye. We got so much for the MCU, man. I'm really
Oh, I
excited.
totally forgot about Hawkeye. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. That's gonna be so much fun, especially with that Black Widow end credit scene. I won't spoil it for anyone that still hasn't seen it, but I think that'll be a lot of fun.
yeah. What else? There's the Wakanda
Yeah,
for,
Wakanda forever.
Forever. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Oh
gonna
man.
have Ironheart in it. That was just released.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. And I also saw maybe a couple months ago that there was some talks about Namor being the villain in that movie, which would
Yeah.
be so cool. So cool.
Yeah,
I would love Namor in the MCU. I think that'd be great.
that could possibly open him up for the Fantastic Four movie.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
We're getting so much
That's,
stuff, man. A lot of
yeah.
stuff, man. I can't wait.
And it's all coming so soon. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when they were announcing all these movies, it was like, oh man, it's so long away. Like when they kind of teased the new Fantastic Four film 2023, it's like, oh man, it's so long from now. But I'm like, it's almost 2022, y'all. We're almost there. Like
Yeah.
it's right there.
Yep. So what is your favorite moment in the MCU so far?
Oh man, another hard question. So many to choose from. I mean, again, I'm probably gonna be basic, but the portal scene, Avengers Endgame, like I don't know a I don't know another movie that's made me that giddy in a movie theater. Like, just the on your left and all the portals open up and everyone comes back and like just then the music, the Alan Silvestri score is swelling and obviously then we finally get the Avengers assemble like and then the subsequent fight scene is just like peak peak movie anything for me. I remember going to see it with a friend of mine. Um, it's actually a funny story, so I'll go back to the beginning of the story. So for those people that don't know, I'm a dance teacher, and I remember working uh, Friday morning right after the movie had come out, and I had a 7 a.m. class that I was teaching, and some of the boys that were in the class came in, and they were all wearing Avengers Endgame shirts, and it was not integral to the story, but they were all like kids shirts and they're all like seniors, and so like the shirts were very ill fitting. It was just really silly looking. But anyway, um, they came in. They were like, "It's amazing. You have to see it." I was like, "Don't say anymore. I don't want to know." And when we had like a competition we had to go to that weekend, and so I wasn't able to go see it immediately. So we did the competition on Saturday. So now the movie's been out for 2 days roughly. We get back really late from the competition Saturday. Sunday, something else was going on. So now we're getting into like the third day of not seeing it. And then my friend was like, hey, listen, we're probably all going to see it all together with like, our big friend group, but I really want to see it. I know you really want to see it. You want to go like right now? It was like 8 p.m. on a Sunday. I was like, yes, I want to go right now. I'm like, I haven't been on the internet all weekend because I don't want to be spoiled. Um, and so we went, and it was just like, the theater was packed still because people were still, going to see it for the first time, and it was just incredible. It's one of those movies, and I'm sure a lot of people feel this way about Endgame and a lot of the other Marvel things. Like, I want to go back to before I saw it for the first time, just so I can experience it again for the first time. Just because it was like, you know, just so emotional, so cathartic to see something like that on the big screen that's at the forefront of pop culture that everyone's talking about. Something for me, as a kid, I never thought would be a thing. Like, I feel like, before the MCU was a thing, the thought of shared IPs and like a shared movie universe was so far fetched, and here we are that, like, now there's so many companies that are trying to do that. They see the value in it, and yeah, it's just amazing, just amazing.
Very nice. Um, so moving on from that, what kind of deals have you purchased in MCOC?
Gosh, another one. I don't even want to think about the number. I I am a very big purveyor of the Sunday deals, like the $5 ones. I think the Cavalier ones are actually pretty good. 250 star shards. The Cavalier crystal, which actually last weekend I awakened my 6-star apocalypse from that one Cavalier crystal. So sometimes
Nice.
it gets us some good stuff. But yeah, Xander Star
Congratulations.
said it. Thanks, thank you. Yeah, but Xander Star said it in the chat. I do consider myself a dolphin. I'm not a huge whale, but once in a while I'll get stuff. Um, I do tend to pick up the pre-release bundles for new characters. Depending on the reception of them. Sometimes I'll get both of them. Sometimes I'll just get one. Um, and I mostly get those because I don't particularly like spending units on crystals. So if I can, get 5 to 10 calves with some bonus for essentially what would be the same price, I usually like to go for those. Obviously, everyone's situation is different. This is not me saying, all right, everybody go spend all your hard-earned money on virtual gambling. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's fun for me. It's this is a hobby of mine. So I figure people spend money on their hobbies, and obviously everything in moderation. There's definitely days where I have to really stop myself and say, you know what, let me take a step back, or let me go watch videos of this character before I get another one of these deals. So I know I'm not just like throwing away stuff and potentially getting a champ that's not even that good. So yeah, I definitely, I would say the things I get most consistently are the Sunday deals and the like pre-release bundles.
Okay. So are you close to having a rank 4 6-star?
I don't think. Let me check actually. Let me boot up the game real quick here. I know I do have, after the initial milestones for Summer Pain, I know I do have one tier 3 alpha and one tier 6 basic. But I'm not sure how far I am to forming the next ones. Oh yeah. Oh no, not even close. I'm like 5% to my second one of both of those, and
Okay.
still obviously need many tier 5 class. I'll probably, you know, again, I like to say I'm a meta slave, so I'm probably just gonna take up Doom as everyone else is probably going to, just because prestige and he's a good character. So
Right on. Jay, you got anything else over there?
Yeah, so we heard a little thing happen yesterday with the release of the new State of the Battleground map. Have you seen it?
yes, I did. Jay, actually, I did look at your predictions for it. I thought you were pretty spot on with them.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. That was you. I mean, you always have really great predictions, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you've been pretty consistently correct on a lot of the ones even this year,
Yeah, I
right?
think I was almost right. I think I only missed two,
Okay.
not including
Yeah,
like my
so
like. Yeah, I was really close. I think I was closer than
that's
anyone else.
that's good
We'll
enough
have to
odds for me, man. You're the one that I'm always gonna look at.
I appreciate
we'll
the.
have to listen back to the 2020 recap
Yeah, oh, yeah.
episode.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see that. See where we landed with everything. But yeah, no, I always love when they release those. I think it's so, that's one of the things that they do consistently, that Kabam does consistently, that I think keeps the game, at the forefront of people's minds, and like it's, getting people, that haven't played the game, that see that like, oh, there's all these characters in the game and they're adding more. Like it's so intriguing. Um, like if I had seen something like that back before I started to play, I probably would have picked it up sooner. Uh, but yeah, I love when they put out those maps and all of the all the videos that come out right after and say, all right, let's take a look at this and see what's going to be the next character. But no, I think it's super exciting.
Thanks. Yeah, who are you most looking forward to if you've seen my
Um,
predictions or have your own?
yeah, no, I really like the idea of Cersei and Black Knight with the Eternals.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good one. I think the one that I actually disagreed with you on was, let me see here. Let me pull it up. Uh, whoever was attached to Black Panther up there
Okay. Yeah.
was, who did you have?
I'd sure.
Shuri.
Oh, maybe it was someone else because I thought Shuri too. Okay, so maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm. Let me see. Let me see.
It's the Captain Americas.
Captain America's no. Okay, let me see here. So yeah, you had Shuri. I also thought Valkyrie, Nolan Anti-Venom. I feel like that's another one that's like not confirmed, but pretty much confirmed. Oh, you had Wiccan and Hulkling. I think they're gonna do Wiccan and Speed, honestly.
Really?
Because I mean, with WandaVision, obviously they kind of had Wiccan and Speed, and I think what'll be interesting with Speed, even though he is a speedster and they haven't done Quicksilver yet,
Yeah.
I think obviously since Speed is a younger version of Quicksilver, they might be able to play around with him not being like totally, you know, crazy with the speedster things. Like maybe it's like a sort of toned down version of what Quicksilver will end up being. It's kind of a stretch, but I think that might be kind of, it could be an interesting thing to do. Um, I like what you said with Misty Knight. I would love to see her in game. That'd be really cool. Spider-Man No Way Home, that seems obvious for sure.
Yeah, I also thought that
Movie.
could be the 2020 Summoner's Choice as well. Those are my two spots.
Oh,
Because he's not
yeah.
that spot's not
True.
connected to anyone. It's the only place on the map besides
That's true.
little
That's
Stevie.
true. Yeah. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Is Hercules on this map?
Yeah, he's
Let's
next
see.
to
Yeah, he's up there
Hyperion,
next to. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see him now.
right where I knew
Got it.
he'd
Got
be.
it.
I was the only one who said he'd be there, and no one believed me.
Right. Totally. But yeah, I think Mystique would be cool.
I
If it
hope so.
wasn't Py
I hope they
Yeah,
get
if it
it.
wasn't Pyro next to Magneto there coming out there, I would think maybe Blob. I
Yeah,
think Blob
I
could
think
be an
Brotherhood
interesting one.
is just that
Yeah,
area.
someone Brotherhood for sure. Some Brother for sure. Captain Britain, or they'll probably end up calling her Captain Carter because of What If. But
We'll
yeah,
see. Probably. I'm not. I'm
we'll
not too
see.
keen on that. I don't think we'll see
Oh
any
no,
what if characters join the contest. I'm being honest.
really? Okay,
Cause like
okay.
I think about it, cause Marvel, we talked about Gabe with it too. It's like when they add
Mhm.
MCU stuff, it's to sell for their movie. It's to sell for the movie, sell for their toys, sell for their. It's a marketing thing. That's why like certain characters haven't even joined the contest is a marketing thing.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I
That's a good
think
point.
like Enchantress Sylvie is like blowing up. I mean Valkyrie would be
Hmm.
cool for Thor 4. So, but
Yeah. Oh
besides
yeah.
those, I don't know about I would want contest to do more MCU stuff because this year was very stale. I mean, obviously we know
Yes,
why,
I agree.
obviously, but I would
Yeah.
love to see
Yeah.
it.
Totally. Yeah. I could see Valkyrie maybe being Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah,
That's one
that's
that
what I.
might be interchangeable.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I hope
Totally.
so too, man.
Man, I
I
just I
want
just
Beta
want
Ray
to
Bill
know.
so bad.
Yeah, dude, people are gonna go crazy for him. I feel like Beta Ray Bill is one of those characters that even if he's not great, I feel like people will still be hyped up enough for him that they'll still like go for him in arena and crystals and stuff, just because he's been such a fan favorite to join the game.
Yeah. Mr. King says gore. Dude, honestly, if the anti venom synergy doesn't like, could you imagine if it's not anti venom and it's gore? Like, what? What an interesting that thing would
What?
be.
Yeah, that's kind of a bait and switch in my opinion.
Yeah, I said Gore from the beginning, but I was like, but I think no will be October, so hopefully we'll get Gore for sure.
Yeah. Kind of seems like October is kind of when they release the, quote unquote spooky champions because of Halloween and stuff.
Yeah, and we've had symbiotes before. We've had the last time we had a symbiote event was during October with the release of the Venom movies, which now we have Venom
Right.
2 coming out in
Right.
October, so it's
Oh, yeah.
pretty perfect.
So
There you go.
I was thinking the only reason they would put Gore in is to put Null in because Gore steals Null's.
Yeah, and I was thinking Thor 4 since he'll
blade.
be the main villain
Yeah.
for sure.
Right.
And this
right.
map always, gives you some curveballs too. Like I'm not. That's why I've never been 100% because they know what they're doing, trying to like say, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
too obvious." Like I gotta think.
Yeah, exactly. They're always trying to throw us through a loop.
But yeah, but when they are obvious, like Spider-Man 2099, it was really nice to see, and hopefully, Kitty Pryde, Null, Anti-Venom. I'm guessing the new Herald in December. That's generally what I think. It'll be really cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. This is yeah, I am curious to see who the next Herald is going to be.
Oh yeah, and Red
Maybe-
Goblin
maybe
last
they-
October too. Another symbiote.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Sinister
Yep.
Six
Wonder
could
if
be
they'll end
curveballs.
up wondering if they'll actually end up putting in Herald of Galactus Aunt May. Since
I don't know.
they made a whole kit
I
for
remember
her.
Yeah.
that tease last year. On fourth, what was it? April
Fools,
1st.
yeah.
Yeah.
What a troll.
That was
I
fun.
mean, to be fair though, Spider-Ham actually used to be an April Fool's joke, and he joined the game like 3 years later. So
It's true.
eventually, I think
That's
she'll
true.
actually join the game. I generally think so, but I think
Oh
she'll
my
stay.
gosh, she'll be the
She'll stay. a
she'll be the
joke for
next
now.
trophy champ. Yeah, she'll be the next trophy champ for sure.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm excited though. There's a lot of stuff they could do. Hopefully, once we get some MCU stuff, I want Kabam to have some fun with the new champs. Get all these cool kits. I want to see some. I don't know. I feel like kits have been lacking this year in a lot of aspects. So I
I
want
know
to
what
see
you
some.
mean. Yeah.
I want to see some
Yeah.
like really good kits. Not like over the top crazy, but just enough to be a little bit more than just enough to be really good and have a lot of fun playing.
Right, like one step lower, a couple steps lower from a Mr. Fantastic or a Domino, but like one step higher from like an America Chavez, like kind of in that sweet spot.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Shimmer Gorath is now unofficially in the MCU. Let's go. That's funny.
Oh man, Shumagara would be so dope, man. Oh man, that's so cool.
He's a character in the contest, just like Phantom X, who actually never joined the game because of a licensing problem with Marvel, and that's why the Sanctum Sectora background has the eye, because it's actually supposed to be Shumagorath, but Kabam weren't legally allowed to say it was.
Oh what? Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I definitely want to learn more about the licensing stuff when it comes to contests, and that's why like Iron or Red Skull with Iron Man's armor never joined the game. That's why we got a different Red Skull. So it
Okay.
happens.
Yeah. It's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Jay, you got anything else over there, man?
Oh yeah, we the new King's on this map, so I wanted to say,
Oh,
what
yeah.
are you hoping to see from King? Hopefully coming into Act 7.
I mean, I think it's either confirmed. I mean, I think we all knew he was going to be one of the end bosses, but I think sort of confirms that he's going to be like the 7.3 boss, maybe?
I don't think
mean,
it'll be him specifically. I think it'll be just regular King, is what I've seen in
Okay.
some leaks.
And then maybe,
It'll
yeah, maybe the
probably
new
be
one for 7.4.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes more sense. That feels interesting because, like, King, well, I guess that was a variant, so it doesn't super count. But yeah, I could see it. It'll probably be maybe a crazy one with a selective time stream, but
Ooh,
on crack. I don't know.
yeah. They could definitely play into the MCU as well, because I mean,
Oh, for sure.
King's about to shake up the whole multiverse, man.
Give him a node that's like, the one he who remains node that, like, I don't know, something crazy. It'll be like a Grandmaster fight, but with Kang mechanics, something.
Well, he always said he was going to come back stronger.
Right. Right.
So,
It might be cool, actually. Something that just popped in the top of my head if they did OG Kang as the end bosses 7.3 is if maybe there was like a node where it was sort of like prove yourself where you had to have to hit 15 combo,
Okay.
but it was like only ever every 3 hits you gained one combo, sort of like he's slowing down time.
Ooh.
And then or there's like it's like sort of like oscillate where like if you're in slow time only every 3 hits you get a hit in your combo meter, and then like in the other phase every hit is like 2 hits sort of thing, and you have to like build up a certain amount of combo and then knock them down or something. It does a burst of damage. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here,
That sounds crazy.
Yeah,
right?
we'll find.
That could be kind of fun.
I'm excited to see it in October, man. That'll be really fun.
Yeah,
We got a lot of stuff in
definitely.
October. Venom 2. We got the Guillotine buff. I think we
Hmm.
have the Venom.
Oh yes, you're right.
The Variant 8 with the Deadpool Lloyds the next month. So there's a lot of content coming. I can't wait.
That'd be so cool. That'd be super cool. I'm looking forward to it. It almost feels like we're now getting to a point where there's so much to do in the game. It's almost like, what do you do first? Which is great. I'd
Yeah.
rather that than, oh, what do we do next? Oh, I guess I'll do more arena. Oh, I guess I'll farm potions. Like it's good to have content.
Yeah, man.
For
Let's get
sure.
ready for Kitty Pride and Nimrod.
Yes. Oh man, can't wait. Can't wait.
I assume. Like, it'd be crazy if they weren't.
Yeah. I mean, at this point. At this point.
Yeah. Jay, if you don't have anything else, I think we can end it right here, man.
Let's do it, man. I got nothing.
All right.
On my notes.
I want to thank everybody for coming out and joining us live. I want to thank Jay for being my awesome co-host,
Hey.
and Domadeus for being our sweet guest.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I'm glad we made it work. And yeah, and whenever you need someone else, or I'd be happy to come back. Is what I'm trying to say.
Hell yeah.
No doubt. So before we end, I'm gonna say that Patreon, we're gonna make some posters for
Yeah.
Patreon. Sorry,
Nice.
Moose is making them, and you'll I can't talk. The post after I post the episode, we'll have a new intro. So
Yeah.
by
Very
LC
cool.
Music, LC Music. So yeah,
Awesome. Can't wait.
Well-
Can't wait.
yeah, me either. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Peace out, y'all.